Hey everybody, I am back once again talking about severe weather. I know I'm with all you all, I am tired of it. I am ready for summer or even fall weather. Fall weather is my favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Make sure y'all share this out. I know I finally got it where I am streaming on all three platforms. So I know I had a little issue where I was just doing Twitter, well, X, whatever it's called now. So let's jump right in because I know it's going to be kind of a longer slideshow. And I want to be done kind of quick for you all so y'all can throw in any questions y'all have and I can answer them to the best of my ability. All right. So let's start about tomorrow. And once again, it is going to be an overnight event. So the Storm Prediction Center has kind of gone back and forth with what level that we are at. And we were at 2 earlier. Now we're back at a 3. As you can see right here, our whole county is within the level 3, which is the enhanced risk. And I don't think level 4 will, I really don't think level 4 will be making its way into our area, but I wouldn't get caught up if, oh, we're on the line of 2 and 3 or the line of 4 and 3. All of the impacts, damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes, and of course flooding, we'll talk about that later, can happen even in a level 1. So once again, as you can see down here, which my next slide, I've used it in all my other slideshows. So it's more widespread than a few intense storms. So right here is what to expect. Severe thunderstorms are possible late Wednesday. And you see right here is our timing. The National Weather Service will have more of a timing. I don't have a timing slide right now, but later on I'll go through my Radar Omega and I can go through the models that we look at. And I can show you a little bit of timing, which the latest one I was looking at said about midnight to 1 a.m. again. And all right. So the highest confident in storms is across the northwest, which is over here. So that does not include us. Storm chances decrease for areas roughly east of I-65 and south of I-40. Well, that's over here, but we are east of I-65. So once again, typical when the storms do move west to east, they lessen. So that's once again. All right. Here's another thing I use in every other. This is very much more detailed of what each category or what each level. I'm not really going to explain it a little much because it's a lot to talk about. And I just wanted to show y'all this is the enhance right here. So there's high confidence that several storms will contain damaging winds, severe hail, and or tornadoes. And some of these severe storms can be significant. So let's get right into our outlooks for each of the hazards that are going to be happening. The first one I want to look at is tornado outlook. So as you can see, we are in the yellow, and the yellow is 10 to 14 percentages. And I want to let y'all know, I know some of y'all do struggle with storm anxiety. So when you hear 10 or 14% tornado, that kind of picks up on storm anxiety. So I know I keep saying this in all my live streams and all. A really good way to look at that is 90% not happening. I know that kind of lowers a little of the anxiety. So I don't want to freak y'all out at all. I know there have been some posts on some of Facebook pages and X and other social media platforms saying, oh my goodness, tornado outbreak. Don't rely on those. I want y'all to also another slide later on. I want y'all to rely on those that are either working for the National Weather Service or trained like us T-spotter coordinators by the National Weather Service are those that have degrees in meteorology, which I have a degree in meteorology and I'm hoping to get my master's in meteorology this summer. I'm starting that process. So I want y'all to get trusted information. I don't want to freak y'all out because that does not help anything. I want to give y'all the truth. What the National Weather Service says, that's what us T-spotters, coordinators do. We take what the National Weather Service says and give it to y'all. But, all right. So you do see, going back to the slide real quick, as I got on my little tangent, sorry, but it's Hatchet, which the Hatchet area is a 10% probability of a significant tornado, which is an EF2 or EF5. My gut, there is two scenarios with this storm system, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. So there's two ways the storm system can work. One is in our favor, one isn't. So we're going to go to severe hail outlook right now. And part, like the more east part, is in a 15 to 29%, while the rest is in a 30 to 44%. And once again, all this is within 25 miles of a point. So if you're in Portland, if you have a big circle, that big radius circle of 25 miles, that will show you about 30 to 44% chance of severe hail going to be in that location. So severe wind, we are, let's see, yeah, we're not even in the, any of us are in the red, barely out of it, but we are in the 15 to 29% chance of severe wind, but we are also in the hazard area, which is a 10% probability of significant wind gusts, which is 74 miles per hour. All right, not only, I want to kind of jump ahead to give you all a little heads up. So, not only are we looking at severe weather tomorrow, which will go into Thursday, we are going to have several days where it's possible of more severe thunderstorms. So this one is for Thursday, and severe thunderstorms are possible all day Thursday. So, and this also depends on where the front stalls, which is one of the scenarios that I'll talk about in a few. So, right, what do they expect and what do they know right now is the location is a bit uncertain. And as I just said, it depends on where the front stalls out. Impacts are the same kind of impacts that we're looking at tomorrow. And of course, the timing is all day Thursday. But we are only in a slight risk. But also don't think, oh, it's a slight risk. It's not going to happen. Oh, we're going to be fine. We're not going to look at the weather. Still be weather aware because tornadoes do happen in slight risk. If I remember correctly, the tornado in December that hit here in Hendersonville happened in a slight risk. I might be wrong about that. If I am, I'm sorry, but I really want to think we were in a slight risk that day. All right, let's go to Friday and Saturday. There's a little bit more uncertainty on this, but there's going to be rounds of storms that possibly could be throughout the weekend. There is a low chance that some of these storms become strong to severe, but we are in, they don't, Storm Prediction Center has not done a level yet. They only do that from day 1 and day 2 so far. Actually, yeah, just day 2 and day 1. So tomorrow we will see a little bit more on Friday. What we don't know, timing. Timing is everything. Timing even changes the day of. So that's why when we look at models, I know, gosh, it was Sunday. I almost forgot what day the last round came through. I feel like it's every weekend so far. Like the timing was either 1 a.m. and then it came in at 11:30. So timing changes the day up too. So what can we do now? continue to stay weather aware as week progresses. Keep checking social media. I'll be on it as much as I can. So I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. I'm going to be here. I'll be up all night tomorrow. So please send me some coffee. I'm just kidding. I'm team no sleep when there's severe weather coming. All right. So here's another checklist that National Weather Service uses, and I love it because it's a checklist on what to do with nighttime severe weather. Make sure your weather radio is ready to go. I know I posted Sunday a link to get this NOAA Midland weather radio. It's the only one I have had. I know people have asked me, what about this one? What about this one? I believe most weather radios do the same thing. I have personally just done this white one. So I'll put the link on again for y'all because I know, or you can go to Lowe's, you can go to Walmart. I think Kroger sells it. So if you want one, I say if you really want one and you don't have one, go to those places. I know I think Ace Hardware Store. I know a few people have said they got theirs from there too. So, and it's very easy to program. If you have trouble, don't feel free to message me and I will definitely help out on that. Make sure your phone is charged. The do not disturb is turned off and the wireless emergency alerts are enabled. I have a slide for iPhone and Android on how to get that work. That's basically kind of like the Amber Alerts. When the severe when a destructive severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning is issued by the National Weather Service, your phone blares and scares the crap out of you. So, have safety plans ready to go. Be sure to have a flashlight, not flip flops, because what if you stepped on nails? Have some tennis shoes, extra clothes handy just in case. Another thing is, a lot of people have said they've gotten bike helmets or motorcycle helmets because most of the deaths that occur is when you get hit with debris. So being protective with the helmet is a huge advantage. Check the forecast before going to bed. If you go to bed, I don't go to bed when there's storms because I'm obviously helping do this. But when I wasn't, I never slept when there were storms. I always had to check constantly. All right. I know a lot of people ask around what's the difference between a thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch and a warning. Here's a few things. A watch means the ingredients are there. They're ready. I should have posted this picture. It's like the ingredients for a taco or ingredients for a cupcake. That's and it's all set up, ready to make. So a watch means be prepared. A warning means it's occurring, it's happening now. So take action. So the picture of would be of a cupcake or of a taco. That's what a warning is. All right, I know that a lot of people ask what apps to download. My favorite is Stormwatch Plus or any of our local news apps. I believe 5 News Channel 5 actually has a part of the app where you can put your phone number in and they call you when a warning is issued. And that will wake you up. Do not rely on tornado sirens. I know we have talked about this before is there's no tornado sirens in Sumner County. I'm hoping to change that, but sirens are actually for people outside. And I hope most people are not outside at 2 a.m. in the morning. So when you're dead in your sleep, getting and all the dreaming, sirens are not going to wake you up. Like my parents live close to MTSU, and MTSU has sirens. Sometimes I have to call them to wake them up because they don't hear the tornado sirens. So the best thing to do is have the wireless emergency ready to roll or one of these apps. And I believe the next slide. Yes, here's the next slide on how to get the wireless emergency alerts enabled on your iPhone. I'll keep this here for a little bit while I answer a couple questions. Or if you want to take a picture or screenshot this, go right ahead. I'm going to put a summary of all of this too on all of my social media. So be sure to share and get it out. Go on Hip Hendersonville or Hip Sumner, whatever. Get it out because I want people to have a trusted source to go to. What is my gut feeling on this storm versus the past weekend? I'll be honest, the one Sunday, my anxiety level was about a 4 or 5 at the beginning, but once I was seeing kind of what the ingredients were, it kept going low. It kept going lower. And I know a bunch of people will probably ask me that tomorrow. My anxiety level right now, I always want to say 4 or 5 because that's right in the middle because I want to see how our atmosphere is. Because yes, the weather models can show us what. I'm gonna go to the next slide because that's Android. So, like the National Weather Service will do weather balloons that will show us how the atmosphere, and I guarantee you they'll probably do a special one tomorrow night before the storms get here. But my, I really want to say because some when I talk about the scenarios, some models are going toward the second ones, which is not good for us. But the late, like the her model is going toward the first one, so it's kind of the models are not really agreeing right now. All right, now that we talked about severe weather, tornadoes, and all of that, I want to talk about something that's really going to be pretty serious, and that's flooding. And we will have a flood watch starting in effect tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and it'll last all the way through Sunday. Because there's going to be so many rounds of rain and thunderstorms, flooding concerns is going to really increase. When I'm look at, let's see, I'm gonna, here we go. This right here shows you kind of the worst of it is going to be over here. And this is getting updated more and more and more. So right now, I'm saying we're going to be between 4 to 6 inches of rain, and I know we've gotten that several times. So I do expect East Main Street to be flooded, Drake's Creek to be flooded. What is the biggest threat, British? Mm, from what I was looking at, I think damaging winds and flooding is going to be a big threat too. And do I? No, I don't know, Austin, if you heard it before when I first started. I don't expect the moderate risk to. It might shift east, but I don't expect it to hit our county. I just I don't see it. But once again, I might jinx us on that. Mother Nature will be like, "So you said this? Well, I'm gonna do this." But I have about 20% chance of it happening, which I know that probably sounds high, but I actually there is a website that the National Weather Service uses as experimental. I was looking at it because it will show straight down to the street view of where flooding will be. It wasn't really showing much right now, but the more and more, I guarantee you it'll be working more tomorrow. So I'll put that on social media as well, especially for areas that I'm concerned about, which right now, the typical like White House, I know they flood all the time. Some places in Portland, Drake's Creek, I guarantee you will be flooded, especially with, I know I drove by on Main Street today and the levels were still pretty high. So I do expect, especially those volleyball courts on Main Street, right by where Kids Castle used to be. Well, still is, but it's newer version. It's not the Kids Castle that I grew up with. So I guarantee you those volleyball courts will be flooded. But, all right, let me. Once again, I don't know if most of you know, I am part of the T Spotter program, and we are trained volunteers that from the National Weather Service did a really deep training with us, and we have like most of our counties that the office in Nashville covers. We have either one. I'm just one person, but I know Davison and Williamson have like 4 or 5 people that help out with them. So a lot of us is just one person, and then I believe there's one of us that has 2 people helping out, but then the rest, and then of course Davison and Nashville guys are about 4 or 5 of them. Yes, Stop 30 does flood. That's what I was thinking when I said Drakes Creek was Stop 30 Road would most likely flood and be closed, and um, Upper Station Camp floods too. So the typical streets that normally flood with 2 to 3 inches will probably be flooded once more. But you can take a picture of this. I always suggest people to follow like Robertson and of course the Nashville guys, because what they get typically comes into our area. But I want to say follow everybody because everybody needs followers. But you can always screenshot this. I always post it on, especially when storms are coming, because I want to get the word out. I want people to be aware. I don't want them to be cut off guard. All right. Once again, I don't know if y'all know, since I am a volunteer, I put in, basically, with all the donations that I get, I put it forward on getting the best weather programs, doing this streaming. I basically do all that. And I've actually started saying if you have a business and you want to sponsor, please email me. I would love to have people sponsor. But all right, I'm going to go straight to the radar real quick. I'm sorry if my little slideshow was awful. I love Canva. It's like the best thing ever. I am not a teacher, so I know that it looks awful. All right, I'm going to go to our models real quick while I talk about our different scenarios that can happen. So I really want to talk about the first one is, let's see, how much are zero? Yes, it's all the way through. So I haven't seen the 00Z yet. So we'll be seeing it for the first time. So you can really see what I think about it when it comes in. All right, that's 2. Let's go all the way. And when you see some of these little kind of gray things, that's kind of clouds. But when it turns green, that's little pop-up showers, which it looks like we do have a little shower coming in. Once again, this is a model, so it probably it this shows in the area there could be pop-up showers, and not necessarily mean it's going to be over Portland, but it's just saying, hey, it might have pop-up showers. But once again, this is 3 p.m. and the main line is expected to come later. So here comes the main line, not 7. Actually, this is quicker than it's been saying before. So let's see. That looks like a jumble mess and not a line, like a full line, like we've seen in the past and what it was showing earlier. So let's see. So it does look like about 12, and it kind of is that bowing out. So I'm seriously thinking our main threat is going to be damaging winds once again, and of course the flooding. Let's see. So 1 a.m. 2. So it is actually kind of showing that it just, that's 5, 6, just kind of stalling out, and just, so that does show. This is 1 p.m. on Thursday. You know what? I'm just going to hit play so y'all can see the time and date is up here. Okay, that is really quick. So it does look like it's going to stall. So that would be our scenario 1. I mean, well, So scenario one is basically when the line of storms is going to stall to our west, which will decrease our chances for any severe weather or flooding. With what I'm looking at right now, of course, it'll most likely change. I think our flooding will probably be on the lower end, but we still get decent. So I'm really thinking 3 to 4, which so it does look like scenario two where the line of storms does make it to our area, and then it stalls right when it gets to our area, which this is, and this will have the flooding, of course. So I'm going to keep up and see how the other models pop up. But this is the one I kind of really go to is the HER model or H triple R. Let's go to I'm going to go to the NAM and see real quick what the NAM one says. But if y'all have any questions or anything, feel free to put them in while I'm looking at this. Oh, it's not. The only thing it's going to do is 6 a.m. So the NAM's not. I'm going to jump to the 18Z and see. Right. Zoom in. So it looks like it's going to be kind of different where we seen in the past where it's a lot of clouds. It kind of looks like there's a lot of breaks in the clouds too. So we'll see if that enhances our atmosphere up a little bit. But this one, see, that's just that actually the NAM, but that's 18Z. So I would really like to see what the one that's loading up now. So that has it stalling more to our west, and we barely get any rain or storms, period. I like that a lot, but we'll see if that holds. NAM is pretty so so. Let's do wrap and see. I'm gonna see how far it's. Okay, we'll do triple or 00 on that. I don't know if it will. No, it's not gonna even reach. It only has till 4, so I'm gonna look real quick and I'm gonna show y'all real quick on. Nope, we're not gonna do one. We're gonna do 00 real quick, and I'm gonna show y'all like. Let me see if it will go, because that's reflectivity. Let's go to supercell. I'm gonna see. This will show you like when you see these purples, that shows you where the best supercells could be. Jeez, look at it over in Jackson. So it does go. So 3 a.m. does show where we will probably have a I bet you we have a severe thunderstorm warning based on when. And I'm surprised on Sunday, radar was showing 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts up in Portland. And I don't think we even got a report of damage, which surprised me. And I know one of the guys from National Weather Service was like, any damage? And I said, no. And he was surprised too. So it does show enough energy for, but I'm going to look real quick on our cape and see what that. Let's go to surface base. I'm going to go do this so it shows you how. So we're around 1400, but then it drops, but then it goes up. So we'll be around 1,000 wind. But that's too. So when the first, we're right around 1,000 when the first part comes and then drops and then picks back up. Mm-hmm. I'm just, I don't know why, but I'm not feeling too bad about this. The main thing I'm going to be concerned about is damaging winds and flooding. And I'm going to do one more before I log off. So if you have any last minute questions, feel free to put them in. I'm going to do significant tornado perimeter. I mean, basically, right. It does show it, but I'm just not, I don't know. I'm just, something in me just says damaging winds and flooding. But I'll keep y'all posted on when the newer models come, and of course when the National Weather Service updates their slides and all. I'll post everything, and then first thing tomorrow, I'll post a little bit more. So I'm gonna log off, and once again, I'm gonna put the link for the weather radio. So if y'all want to go get it at Lowe's and all, you can have a photo of what it looks like. And I'm going to do a summary of all of this, especially for those. But I'll go ahead and make sure your friends, family, coworkers, and community know about our T-Spotter program and who to follow for trusted sources, because I know I said earlier, there's the people that just start posting it to ramp up people's storm anxiety. That's exactly what we don't want. We want y'all to have a trusted source. So, as I once said, the trusted sources are TV meteorologists, National Weather Service people, those trained by the National Weather Service, and especially us T-spotters, which is an example of those being trained. And I don't know if y'all know, but several of us T-spotters are actually either have already got our meteorology degree and are finishing it up. So it's pretty cool. Both worlds collide and all. So, all right. Well, I am logging off. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all's night. Get sleep tonight, because tomorrow it will probably get a little bumpy at night once again, and throughout this weekend, and hopefully we'll be done for a little bit. I haven't looked at anything else past this week, but once again, that is far ahead, and models will change.